Security in what is no longer meaningful. There is more security in the adventurous and exciting. For a moment there is life, and in change there is power. Marianne Williamson. Change is in the air as old patterns fall away and new energies are emerging. Consciously release what needs to be released and welcome with a full embrace the newness you have prayed for and so richly deserve. Steve Marivoli. Letting go isn't about having the courage to release the past. It's about having the wisdom to embrace the present. And Lori Boschenen, PhD, any belief worth embracing will stand up to the litmus test of scrutiny if we have to qualify, rationalize, make assumptions, or turn a blind eye to maintain a belief, then it may well be time to release that belief. And now, welcome Kathleen with the lesson for today, Release and Embrace, Part 1. Thank you.
Thank you, Carmen. Let me turn that down. Thank you.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, so the PowerPoint person has to catch up with where we are. There we go. I embrace the unlimited abundance within me. That is the affirmation from the daily word reading that I found from November of 2017. As I said earlier, this lesson and this series is based on this little booklet right here, Fasting and Feasting, a Spiritual Practice for Lent 2019. We may have a couple available. We don't have. Oh, we sold out last week.
I'll get more for next week.
All right, we'll get more for next week. This is a very, very powerful book, and what they did was they compiled entries from different Unity ministers and spiritual leaders based on a poem adapted from William Arthur Ward, and I just want to give you a little bit, a little taste of this. It's a 40-day practice for Lent. So it starts with, I fast from judging others, I feast on beholding the Christ in them.
That's great.
Got anybody in your life that's a challenge about? I do. I fast from apparent darkness, I feast on the reality of light. I fast from discontent, I feast on gratitude.
Good idea.
Here's another good one. I fast from suspicion, and I feast on truth. Okay. So for me, this lesson is about releasing and embracing, so it's a more permanent thing. Okay? Once I release something, it's usually gone. Think of balloons that fly up in the air, and you know, when you were a little kid, if you let go and you're like, oh no, it's never coming back, right? So we're releasing it, and then embracing, to me, gives more of an idea of love behind it, right? It's not just about tolerating new circumstances. It's about embracing being in the moment, and that's what some of these quotes brought up for me as well. Some of these quotes talk about that. Steve Maraboli, letting go isn't about the courage to release the past. Part of it is, but that's really not it. What it is it's about having the wisdom to embrace the present. How many times have you ever found yourself in a set of circumstances and you're really fighting it tooth and nail? This shouldn't be happening. How many times have I said that? No. This should not be happening. As long as I am stuck in that thought process of this should not be happening, it's going to keep happening. It's going to keep on keeping on, and I'm going to keep fighting, and then I'm just in that little hamster wheel, and I'm never going to get off.
Going upstream, right?
Yeah, swimming upstream. Yeah. Right. There are certain things that we need to accept in order to move on. Right? We have to do that. But we also have the power within us. We have this power to in a moment remember our divinity. We have this power to become aware of that Christ presence that will take us wherever we want to go. 1,500 miles away from warm weather, maybe. I'm coming up on the year anniversary of being here in the New England area. I left Florida on March 5th of last year. Today's March 3rd. I know. It's freaking me out, people. It really is, and I have to tell you why. I have found myself still introducing myself as, "Hi, my name is Kathleen, and I just moved here from Florida."
Wow.
51 and a half weeks ago. So I think I'm at a point where I've embraced this whole change, but apparently there's a little part of me in the background that's going, yeah, you're still from Florida. So I just found that to be pretty funny. So in the booklet, it talks about, as I fast, I let go and I release. What that does is it opens me up to be able to feast on whatever it is I want to feast on. In the reading, I think it was a Daily Word reading, it talked about the fact that we need both an open mind, a willing mind and an open heart. The two are connected. Very much so. I could be willing, but if my heart's not into it, I'm not going to go very far, and vice versa. I may have this, heartfelt desire to do something, but if I'm not willing to do it, it's not going to work either. Right? So I have to have both. And I may have shared this with you in the past. Sometimes you have to pray for the willingness to become willing because you're just not there yet. And the best suggestion I can give you is, it's okay to acknowledge that I'm not willing right now. I want to get willing. I will get willing. I have the power to get willing, but I'm not there yet, and I'm not going to beat myself up about it. I don't know about you, and if this is different for you, see me after the service, but beating myself up has never helped me. It has always delayed my progress. It has delayed my spiritual growth. It has delayed. It has never helped me to have that stick out, banging myself in the head. You idiot. It just doesn't work. Put the stick away. So if you're here today and you're beating yourself up for any reason whatsoever, put the stick away. Stop beating my friend up. Okay? Don't do that to my friend. You wouldn't want your friends to beat themselves up, right? Think about this. Okay, I'm glad I had this idea. Think about this for a second. You have a friend of yours that comes to you and they say, "Oh, I can't believe I made that mistake. I don't know why I'm so stupid. I don't understand, blah, 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 blah." What's your first reaction? You're not stupid. That's what you would say to your friend. Go home and say it to yourself in the mirror. And I mean that. There's no reason to think that your friends deserve that kind of love and consideration and acceptance, and that you don't. Of course you do. You definitely deserve that. So if you're willing to give it, you gotta be willing to receive it. It's just the way the world works, friends. It's just the way the world works. Universally speaking, spiritually speaking, that's the way it happens. So Alan Cohen's quote about it takes a lot of courage to release the familiar and the seemingly secure. Think about, maybe you have a friend in your life, or I know you've read this in the news, where someone is in a very dangerous relationship of some sort, and yet they can't find a way to leave. I've been there. It's a very scary feeling. And you really feel like you can't get out. And people on the outside looking in go, just leave. I, personally, was paralyzed in fear. I could not imagine where to go, what to do, and so because I couldn't imagine it, there must not be a place to go. That's where my mind went. I have since learned any problem I face, what to have for dinner. It doesn't have to be a major life crisis, but any problem I have, just because I don't see the solution, doesn't mean there isn't one. There is always a choice to be made. There is always possibilities to consider. I just have to be open and willing. Open the heart. Become willing in the mind to think that the right answer is going to come. The right answer is going to come. Marianne Williamson. Changes in the air, and as old patterns fall away, new energies are emerging. Consciously release what needs to be released. There's the key. We must be aware of what it is that we're releasing, or what we want to release, before we can open up and make room for what we want to embrace. The potential is incredible. It is like those seeds that are planted within us, that just, there's a lot of potential. Think about a little acorn and the size of the tree that it can become, right? We're like that. All of these seeds are being planted within us. We're hearing all sorts of things. I know most of you in this room pretty well. You guys don't just come here on Sundays and hear what I have to say and then go home for 6.5 days and do whatever. You're studying, you're reading, you're talking, you're participating in groups, you're doing all sorts of things. You've got lots of seeds inside. As do I. I'm in ministerial school. I've got 2 classes per week. 2 more weeks left, friends. 2 more weeks. For the semester, I get a week off, and then we start all over again, but that's okay. Moving right along, it's moving. Those seeds, everything I'm learning in each class seems to be falling right into place. It seems to be that I'm able to use what I'm learning in a particular semester and share it with people, share it with you in one way or another. I may not label it as, hey, I heard this in class last week. Sometimes I do. But I don't always have to do that, but I'm utilizing it. And each one of you is gathering all of these seeds, and you're nurturing them. Hallelujah, yeah. It is. That's exciting news. Yeah. And the people that we're coming in contact with that maybe aren't on such a positive path, maybe, you have the opportunity to plant seeds in them too. I do have experience with working with people in recovery from addiction. I have a lot of experience with that. And a lot of times it's about planting the seed for them to know there is a place to go somewhere down the road when they think they're ready. Now I can look at them and I can be coaching them, or I can just be sharing with them as a friend or whatever, and I can see that, boy, you should be ready. But they're not, for whatever reason. So I keep planting the seed, trusting the universe. Trusting divine mind is there, active in them just as much as it's active in me. I just don't see it. The appearance is different. The appearance is that, no, they don't get this. But it's just going to take one different thought to turn everything upside down. It'll feel that way. It'll feel like it's being turned upside down. And then, look out. They're on a completely different path. I know that's what happened for me. And I know that's what happened for a lot of people here. Okay. So the seeds equal potential. Think of how exciting that really is. Because it's infinite potential. Who knows where this is going to take us. Who knows where? Did I know that it was going to take me here? Sort of. I've told you guys before. On February 18th of last year was my last talk at Unity of Fort Myers. I think it's still on YouTube, but I'm not sure. But on that Sunday, I stood in front of 300 people, and I said to them, Unity of Central Massachusetts is where I'm going. They don't know it yet. And here I am. I just knew. Thank you. I just knew that I was going to be led somewhere, and I was going to be open to just helping in any way I could. And it's worked out to be this.
Yeah.
How exciting. I love this. I love doing this, you know. But that seed, I believe that my saying that out loud to a group of people in Fort Myers was watering the potential.
Yeah.
That was my watering can. And they laughed. They all thought that was hysterical, right? And you guys laughed when I told you, but guess what? Here I am. So there's something to it, right?
Yeah.
And if it hadn't worked out this way, it would have worked out some other way. But that is where I knew, this is where I knew I was coming to start. And that's what it is. There's potential. How does it make you feel when I say to you, you've got infinite potential? If you are sitting here today and you are feeling like, yeah, I'm not there, it's okay. I want to assure you that even though you don't feel like you have infinite potential within you yet, doesn't mean you don't have infinite potential. Feelings can sometimes lie to us. Mm-hmm. In my old life, before I found Unity, my feelings told me that I was not good enough. My feelings told me that I was not smart enough. My feelings told me that I would never be good enough for anything or anyone, anywhere. I am not kidding you. That is who I was. Now, just because those feelings were so real and so powerful, did that make them true?
No.
No, it did not. But it felt true. I know you've been there. I know you can relate to what I'm saying, right? So that's why we need each other. That's why we need to come on a Saturday morning. It's not Saturday. That's why we need to come together on a Sunday morning. I need to hear myself say some of these things out loud to remind myself.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And you guys, I don't care what church you go to, the message you hear on any Sunday morning at any church is going to be the exact message that the speaker needs to speak. They're going to talk to you about what's going on in their lives. Maybe they'll mask it a little bit. Maybe they won't tell you they're struggling. But they're going to be talking to you about whatever is coming up for them. And then they're going to share the lesson with you. So that's what you get from me. I sat and meditated over that booklet. And I thought fast and feast is good, but it's not good enough. I want something more permanent. Came up with release and embrace. Mm-hmm. And that's where we are. So I'm going to encourage you to join me in this. I don't know. I'm not going to tell you what to release and embrace. I don't have to. You know what's going on in your lives. And you know the power that is within you, so you can meditate on this. You can pray about this. You can think about, what do I really want to release? There's that one quote. Laurie Buchanan, she's a PhD. Any belief worth embracing will stand up to the litmus test of scrutiny. How many times have you found yourself kind of avoiding thinking about something? Because if I really think about it, I'm going to realize I'm going to have to do something different. Yeah. I don't really want to talk about this. So she says, if we have to qualify, if we have to rationalize, if we have to make exceptions for or turn a blind eye in order to maintain a particular belief, it might be time to release that belief. I don't know why, but this quote made me think of something that happened yesterday. I posted something on Facebook, and it was a couple of days ago, and I posted something on Facebook about no matter what, no matter how people treat me, I am going to treat them with respect, and I am going to honor their existence, whether we agree or not. I said something to that effect. And one person responded with something, yes, everybody except, and then she gave an example of one group of people where we wouldn't have to do that. She said Nazis. I get that. I get where she's coming from. But guess what? Even Nazis. I know that may sound extreme. And you could substitute that word for anybody else, any other group that you have differences with. You can do that. If you're a strong Republican and you want to say it about Democrats, or if you're a strong Democrat, want to say it about Republicans, or if you want to say it about straight versus gay, or I don't care, you know. Personally, you could walk in here with purple skin and pink polka dots, I'm good with you. Come on in. Right? I don't care what you look like, I don't care what you eat, I don't care. I want to spread a message of love, I want to spread a message of joy, I want to spread a message of peace, that we are capable of all of that. But that's what I'm trying to do. But what that means is something very, very difficult, my friends. When we look at a news story where someone has just, like obliterated a family, or any of that other stuff, there are no exceptions to this. And I'm not there yet. I promise you, I am not 100% there yet. But I'm going to keep working on that. Because I think that's where the answer lies, is that if I continue to separate myself from anyone, then I am not truly embracing the teaching of unity, which is there is only one presence and one power. Now, how it appears is, I don't have all the answers yet. I'm not going to stand here and lie to you. But I'm working on it, and I'm going to keep trying, and I'm going to continue to try to show respect to everyone, regardless. Does that mean I get in a public fight on Facebook? No. Does that mean I get in a public fight anywhere? No. But what it means is I pay attention to what comes up for me when I see hatred expressed anywhere. I pay attention to what comes up for me emotionally, and then I work on this release and embrace concept. Okay? I'm going to invite you on this journey with me. I don't know where it's going to take us. I don't know what we're going to work on releasing. I don't know what we're going to work on embracing. That is all individual. And yet, it's all together. Because we're all connected through this. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Yep. It'll be a wild few weeks, don't you think?
Yeah.
And so it is. Amen.
Amen.
Okay. Let's... I'm going to be speaking in I statements, but please know that the I statements come from an I am place. So may the words that I speak be the words of your own heart. I breathe into this present moment. My mind is willing. My heart is open. I am open to new possibilities. And I am ready to release that which no longer serves me. I embrace the unlimited abundance within me. I release old beliefs that are no longer my truth. I embrace all that is good. Allowing my mind and my heart to open even further. Allowing new ideas to come into my consciousness and lead me to my highest good. I take these thoughts now into the silence, trusting the Christ presence within to guide and lead me always. I embrace the unlimited abundance within me. Unlimited means never ending. I now see with the eyes of abundance everywhere I look. I see the abundance around me. I continue to release that which does not serve me. Error thinking no longer needs to be around. I am open to absolute truth. And I am willing to embrace change. For this realization, I am truly grateful. And so it is. Amen. And take a couple of deep breaths now to come back to this place and time. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes.